Curing corruption in Sri Lanka, is it possible? It's 3:30 a.m. Mom was born in 1922 and dad was 1912. This is my dad, 1971. He died, and from then on it was chaos. Dad was gifted 77 purchases of land in Ward Place from his father, who was a doctor. I've been handling problems for my father and my mother since the age of 17. 50 years of doing things for them and court cases and endless rubbish. I have got wet floors with 3 inches of water in the sitting room caused by the CMC. Never blame the country, it is always the people, and if they are trash, it's trash. It's hard to be a woman. You have to think like a man, act like a lady, look like a young girl. And of course, you've got to work like a horse. Here we work like dogs. The majority cheat. Everybody cheats and robs and does something wrong. The person teaches English, but he has said that the quarry is maintained by the person with power. He doesn't know to spell and he probably doesn't know to talk, but he's teaching English. The question is there a God? And yes, he's for the Christians in Sri Lanka. This is in the property at Ward Place, and the plant stands have fallen with the heavy rains of late. The University Grants Commission, the Ministry of Education, has put down pipes into my garden. In Sri Lanka, people are politically harassed and hounded. If you can't fight, you flee. Otherwise, you study the books of law. I read, study, learn, practice, and know the books inside out. Despise pigs, converts vegetables to bacon. What do you do? As much as there is no consideration for people, there is none for animals, and it's overwork. So you make sacrifices and you contribute as much as you can, forget the rest. This book is another farce. They think they know everything, but they know nothing. It's the poor people who will help the poor people, never the rich, and never in politics. 3 communities murdered in our country: the Tamils, the Sinhalese. Muslims attacked the Christians on April 21st, 2019. 10,000 Tamils murdered during a 30-year war. The Sinhala Marxist insurgents in 1983, where the Sinhalese died. It implies that the story may not be true, but is good enough to pass for real. It applies to only those with a conscience. If they are Sinhala Buddhist, it doesn't. Besides judicial work and study, I'm a creative person. I never mean to offend people, but one gets tired of the systems in Sri Lanka. Inequality in incomes, finances, job placements. Majority is given status, jobs and rank even though less qualified. There's a fight for land between the majorities, and the minorities will be robbed. Minorities have to choose alternatives all the time, and it's a fight and a struggle. Contributed in all my jobs, no copyrights. The Buddhist majority are takers, and next to them are the Muslims. There is no freedom of speech in Sri Lanka. These are missing dead journalists. Allegations about people in power, and 15 years later not solved. I don't drink but keep a good bar for visitors. The racks were robbed by the university. The heavy influence of 2 religions in Sri Lanka, the Buddhists and the Muslims. The politicians get rich, the poor get poor, and they are 75% of the population. Recent allegations about Switzerland embassy staff being harassed by police. I have a hard time trying to smile now because I am burdened. 67 years. Court cases, one cursed by a single Buddhist brothel keeper who robs my road. 3-story building in a ground plus 1 zone because there is no law in this country. A pathetic situation in Sri Lanka where even the Quran tells them to kill if they desist. There was no fight on April 21st, 2019. They were just slaughtered. I'm a Sri Lankan, but I dislike my neighbors who rob everything that I own. To cure corruption, you have to stop the interference in the law. There will be 3 judges who are different from the defendant. The City of Colombo Development Plan of 1999 was used for an illegal building. There are only 3 inviolate laws where a minister or CMC cannot interfere. Law 36.4 contradicts 25.5 in the laws. B page 28.15 says owner street. Coverage excluded from the judgment. Why did the judge not see? Because he's Tamil. To get justice, you have to get 3 different people from the defendant. Another clause that is frequently used by the scumbuckets is the authority deems fit. The UDA laws, you have to go from page to back to front to back. Every law is modified by another plan which considers it necessary. Laws such as no new subdivision shall have the effect of reducing open space, deliberately omitted by the CMC in their planning and construction. Not one page in this city development plan where you get your finger stuck above. No wonder that they've got slums in every part of Colombo because the CMC is slums. The madness of the writers is shown in clause 5 on page 20. Permit cannot be recalled if there is no written law in force. I mean, what madness is this? Alma Pereira of the CMC is a brainless legal bitch. Consistently ignores D 975 to give access to 2C. Accepts undertakings to not have windows opening outwards on a boundary. If a law is made by madmen, there is no law as much as religion is for men. Law 24:1 on page 18 says that they can approve a building though it doesn't conform. Similar to the Book of Laws is the Constitution made by the same dumbasses. Even written to Pope Francis saying that the Bible should be ditched because it is violent. It appears that the Catholic faith is based on the life of a Muslim leader who cannot endorse the Sharia law because it denigrates women. Enforce, do not kill, steal, lie, covet, and save Sri Lanka.